Hi everyone, I'm JD, welcome back to my channel. So I've made myself a new personal journal. The reason why is because I'm actually going to be doing Johanna Clough's, I've been saying her last name wrong, it's actually Clough. I'm going to be doing her monthly journal prompts from her zine, and I'm going to have this one journal dedicated to that. So I'll link below her Etsy shop where you can find her monthly journal prompts. And yeah, so I put this together last night. It's just a little golden book. I widened the spine using chipboard and joined it together using this lovely fabric from Denise. And so I also last night got my signatures ready. I've got 6 signatures and I've paper clipped them to keep them together. Well, bobby pinned them. You can use paper clips, but I've used bobby pins just to keep them all nicely lined up. And then I thought I'd put the camera on to show you how I bind multiple signatures into a journal. And hopefully this is helpful and easy to follow. So materials, need scissors and an awl and a needle. I use a tapestry needle because it's this one in particular is great because you can't prick your finger on it and you've got like a wide eye there. And this embroidery thread, but you can use wax linen thread. I know other people use different things, but I use embroidery thread. Then you need a ruler and some sort of thing to mark the pages, the signatures and the spine. So I use a pen just because it shows up. And then you might also need a calculator and a piece of paper. Alright, so I've already done my calculation though. My spine is 6 centimeters wide. I know I've got 7 signatures, so you just divide the you get the spine width and then divide that by the number of signatures you want to get the gaps that you to find out where to place each signature. So 6 divided by 7 is roughly 0.85 centimeters. So I'll grab my ruler and I'll show you up close later on, but I'll just mark it out here. And so first of all, I'm just going to see where my spine starts and finishes. Okay, so it's about there, and I'm going to mark it on the blue so I can actually see it. Alright, so 0.85 is about there, 0.85 there, so I'm just going to mark it 6 times. Alright, so I've already kind of marked it at the top. See if you can see that. So, oh, it's probably not going to focus. There we go. So there's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pen points with 0.5 centimeters in between. And then I'll do the same at the bottom. And this is just how I do it. Like, there's so many different ways you could do this. Maybe there are easier ways out there that other people have. But this is just the way that I do it. And you can eyeball it too. I sometimes eyeball it. See, that's gonna... My cat is just playing with all the paper in my room. And I kind of do a combination of both eyeball and measure. So what I'll do, why I'm doing a mark at the top and a mark at the bottom, is because I can get my ruler and line up those marks and then rule a line. So I'm just going to fold it up to see that it is straight. And I'm not fussed if it isn't, like, you know, incredibly perfectly straight. And then I just rule the line down. And I'm going to do that for all 6 of those marks. Yeah, sometimes I don't even rule it all like this. I just grab my ruler and eyeball it. But just to show you how I do it you know, perfectly like this. Although some lines may go in and like they're not exactly parallel, just... Kiani, what are you doing? You're jumping on my plastic bag. Alright, so just keep ruling down. And I know like some people wouldn't want to do this in pen because you could see the lines when you open up the journal, but I don't mind seeing the lines, and they're mostly covered anyway by the signatures. So I'm just going to flip that around so that I can see it's actually lined up. So I can tell already that it is or a bit wonky, but I am not too fussed as long as it's in the ballpark. Alright, so let me show you up close those lines. So along those lines are where my signatures are going to go. The next step is grab your piece of paper, and you want it to be at least as long as your journal spine. So mine's a little bit longer, so what I'm going to do is mark it where the spine ends, right here, and then I'm going to get the middle point of the spine, which is, so it's 20 centimeters is the height of the spine, so at 10 centimeters I am marking the halfway point, and then I'm just going to come in by, let's see, 2 centimeters each way. You can play around with how far you come in, maybe 1 centimeter in, 1.5 centimeters in, 3 centimeters in, but that is where I will be putting my holes. 1, 2, 3, because we're doing the, sorry, I should have mentioned this at the start, 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which is so super easy. So now I've got my guides, my marks here and my lines here. So what I want to do is put my holes into the spine first. So I match up the paper onto the line, and then I mark where the dots are. And then I just move it down. I think I did that a little too high, that first lot, so I'm just going to come in again. So it doesn't matter if you get it wrong the first time round or anything, because like I said, you're kind of covering it up with the signatures anyway. So yeah, just marking all of this. Probably should have shown you with just a 3 signature journal to start off with instead of 6, my goodness. Okay, so now you can see where I've marked the spots where my awl needs to go to mark the holes. So I'll grab my awl and I'll just poke it through each of those marks. So if I knew how to speed up the camera, I mean the video, this would all be sped up. But anyway, you get to see real time the process. Oh, and hey, look, I forgot to mark the last one, but see, I'm just going to eyeball it because I know where it is. Alright, and then the top one, I'm just going to put this around this way so I can grab it. Sorry for the camera shaking. I'm putting a lot of pressure onto the spine and then onto the journal. Alright, so now I've put my holes through there with my awl so you can see. And then I'm going to grab my first signature. And it doesn't matter which way you go, if you start from the back or the front, doesn't matter at all. I've done both. I'm just going to start from the front. I open up my signature to the middle and then I line it up so that I can see how far, like I center it in the spine, so you can see there's a little bit of a gap there and a little bit of a gap there. So I place it where I want it to sit in the journal. Grab my piece of paper which has those lines, so I match it up, and then I grab my pen and do the same thing as if it was the spine. Mark where I want my holes in the middle of the signature though. So you can see I've put my marks there, and I'll grab my awl and then I will go through the middle, and it is just the exact same process of the 3-hole pamphlet stitch that I showed in the single binding video that I did, which will be the previous video. So I'll link that below if you need to go over this binding method, but it's just this exact same thing. Once I do the middle hole, I like to put the thread through straight away and through to the spine. So the only difference between this and the video before is that this is a hard cover and we're doing multiple signatures. So instead of going straight through the soft cover as if it was a page, there's a little bit of separation. So I put it through the signature first, then I put it through the spine. Go through and back. Go back in. And then go through the signature. Oh, let me put the hole in first. Now some people do all 3 holes first in the signature, but I just find this helps it not move. Like the pages, they won't move as much, and it's all just going to be lined up and easy. So this is that little trick I shared in the previous video. Just pull this thread down hard so that you've got the whole space of that hole to go through, and it'll just go straight through without catching this thread. That's very important, because if you catch that thread, it's a nightmare. You kind of just have to cut it off and do the whole thing again, because it will split and it won't pull tight. So I'm going to go through the cover and just do the exact same thing. Grab my hole in the signature. Oh, that was a very big hole. That went right through, but that is fine. Mistakes are fine. Push it through or pull it through, and here's that other little trick I shared in the previous video. So we're going to pull this one as tight as we can, and I pull it down this way to keep it out of the way. Pull this one and go underneath, so underneath that thread. Pull it that way. So now you just want to tie a knot. So I'm pulling it as tight as I can, although not too tight because you don't want to rip the pages. And then I'm just going to make sure it is tight. Awesome. And then I will, so you kind of just line it up as much as you can with that hole, trim it down, and then tie a knot. And I double knot it. And I also cut my threads shorter than the end of the book, but you don't have to do that. You can leave them long or short, or however long you want. Then I just remove the bobby pins or paper clips, and there is my first signature in the book. like that. Alright, so it is the exact same process for each of the other signatures. So you just line up your pages in the journal. Grab your guide paper for the holes. Grabbing my pen to mark the spots to poke the awl. And then here we go. Alright, this one I'm going to do all 3 holes and just show you what that process looks like too, in case you want to do this method first. Just do all 3 holes first. And I think like this one seems faster. It might just mean a little bit more wiggling of the needle to get to reline up the pages, but let's do it this way because it might be faster anyway. So go through the spine. A little tricky finding the hole. There it is in the spine, so push it through, find the hole in the signature. So it's really, really simple. I hope this isn't freaking anyone out. It is a bit of a process. You know, the measuring part is a bit of a process, but it's just repetitive, that's all. So it's not hard or anything. It's just the same thing over and over again, and that's why it can seem a little bit daunting or tedious, but really, really simple and actually really quick. So, because it's just the same thing over and over. Once you've set up your measurements, it's really easy to nut this out. And because you just use the exact same method of binding and tying. So I'm just going to double check just in case, because if I don't do this, I've done that before where I haven't checked and it's been really loose. And then I just had to cut it off and do it again, so make sure it was tight the next time round. So it just saves a little bit of time just to double check. Alright, so there's my second lot of signatures in there. See that? Look at that. I'll try. So, and you can see the fabric in between. Alright, so exact same thing for the next one. Grab your signatures, or your signature, line it up where you want it to sit in your journal. Grab your guidelines and mark it. Oh, so this page has quite a lot of black lines on it, so it might be a little difficult for me to see where to put the awl, so I'm going to do it straight away while I can see them. And let's just go ahead and do all 3 holes, because that was quicker, wasn't it? And just to show you, if you start off doing this and you find that you can't find the holes or they're not lining up, then start off just going 1 hole at a time so that you can get the hang of it, and then you can just see what you're doing basically. Alright, so I'll grab more of my embroidery thread. I'm actually using 2 different shades of blue for this binding. Thought it would look nice. Now you're going to watch me. Oh no, I did it. Woo! Yeah, just for a bit of added interest on the spine. Alright, so through the middle hole, poke it through the signature, poke it through the cover, pull it out the other side, find the hole on the cover. It can be a little tricky with fabric for the hole to really be, I don't know, developed, so I'm struggling with this one. So all that I will do in that case is poke through the awl, and I'll see where it's come through, and I'll catch that same spot. There it is. So I can, yeah, really just see where it is. Pull it through, go through the whole of the signature, pull that through, make sure it's tight, pull it through again, and pull that one down so that you miss it when you go through this hole again. And the other reason you wanted to pull it tight is because then the signature will be like right lined up against the spine. So when you do poke it through, you'll be going straight through the spine and the signature all in one go. You don't have to do that thing where you go through the signature first and then go through the spine. If it's matched up right on close, you can catch them both together. So see what I mean like this? I'm doing it separately, catching the spine first and then going through the signature. So I'm just pulling that one, that one, that one, and checking how tight it is, the tension. And I can tell that's very loose, sorry for shaking you. So I'm just going to tighten that a little bit. And the way to do that is just to keep wriggling around. You want it to be lined up exactly where the hole is, so that the two strands are pulling from the center, so that one isn't off skew, because whichever one is off skew, one of these sides will be loose. And yeah, it's just trial and error. Keep practicing. The more you do it, the more you'll see how tight to do it and all that kind of stuff. And same process for the next one. And I hope, yeah, this is just showing you, doing it over and over, you can just see. Oh, so sorry. Just shook that camera right up, didn't I? Doing it over and over so that you can really see what I'm doing. Oh, am I going to get that through? Splitting. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to grab my guide, go through here, lining it up. And marking my holes. Alright. I think I do actually just do the 3 holes together when I do a multiple signature journal. It's only when it's a paper bag journal where I can catch the cover all in one go, I think, where I just do them separately, one at a time. But for this one, it's a little trickier with the cover, the hard cover. So I just knock out the 3 holes first of all. So going straight through. Now, can I find that one? Yes, yes I can. There it is. Flip it back. There's the needle. Poke it through the hole. And then, oh, my thread is getting a bit knotted, that's okay. Pull it tight out the way, poke it through, and go back in. Pull it through, and then in here. Oh, sorry, I keep shaking you. The camera holder is right in front of me, so I just keep knocking it. bit awkward putting my arms around the camera holder trying to bind. Alright, it's like I'm almost hugging the camera holder. Cut it off. Okay, 2 more to go. I think my camera may cut off. I'm not going to get the whole lot done in this video, but I'll just continue on because now I know how to merge videos. Woohoo! And it shouldn't take too much longer after this. So as you can see, like I was talking for a while at the start and all that kind of stuff. So about half an hour to bind a journal it takes me, roughly, I guess, then, with 6 signatures. So usually I don't bind journals with 6 signatures. The most I ever do is 5 usually, and yeah, the most I do is 5, but usually I actually do either 3 or 4 signatures. So I would already be done if I was doing my normal, but because my personal journals, I like to make them last a long time, for a whole year, rather than just for a stage of my life. I like it to last a whole year. Well, these ones in particular. The other ones I make for myself, like that Daphne's Diary one, I obviously made that smaller. Anyway, now I'm rambling. So poke through here. And then yeah, at the end, after I finish all the binding, I will do a flip through of this journal and chat about why I chose the pages, how it all came together thematically, and what I plan to do with it, how I plan to use it, and about Johanna's zine. And if you want to join along journaling with me with that, you can get the zine as well, or you might already have it. See, I need to poke that hole a little bit more because I've lost where it is. There it is. There goes my embroidery thread. Alright, Kiani's fallen asleep on my bed. He falls asleep right next to my pillow. It's so cute. I love it when I go out the room and I come back and he'll have been playing, but when I've been out of the room for a while, I'll come back and he'll be asleep next to my pillow on my bed. So I love it when I'm binding a multiple signature journal and I can see it taking shape. You know, you get this shell of a spine or journal cover, and then you start filling it up with all the signatures and the pages, and it's just so cool. Alright, yeah, so just showing you what I do, and the video is going to cut off soon, so I might just end it here after this signature, and I'll start the filming straight back up and just finish off the last one, and I'll merge it together. So okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Or well, the same video. Bye! Hi everyone, back again. Well, I had to just charge my camera, and so I've had a little bit of a break, but I'm back here and ready to bind in the last signature. Mind my cat again, he is playing with another plastic bag. So, same process. grab my little guideline marks. Mark the dots. Grab my awl. So yeah, just go with 3 holes. I think I just do normally 3 holes straight up with this kind of binding method into a hardcover. So last time, through the signature, through the spine, come out the other side. If I can find the... Nope, I can't find it, so I'll just grab my awl, poke it through again. Oops. Keanu, he's playing in this little hidey hole where I keep my typewriter underneath my bedside table. It just sits on a shelf underneath my bedside table, and he likes to sit on top of the typewriter. So yeah, I guess it's more just a process video. As I do this in my own time, put on the camera. Oh, so see what happened here? This is the first time it's happened. It actually happens quite a lot, so I'm surprised this is the first time. I poked my needle through, but it didn't come through the middle. It's somewhere poked through. There it is. So this is what I mean by lining up the pages. It just moved a bit, so that now I have to, it's a bit of a struggle to find where the hole is. So what I have to do, and this is why I sometimes poke through the holes one at a time and then follow the thread through straight away, is because the pages sometimes move like this. And so when you poke it through, it won't catch it all the way to the middle. But this time it does, because I've poked in the hole straight, like I've put the needle through straight away after I've poked the hole. Alright, that was good to show, I suppose, because I feel like that happens a lot and you might run into that problem. But for the most part, it did really well, didn't I? Every other one, it went straight through the middle. Okay, so I'm so excited because this is the last signature to bind in, and it's like, because it does take a little bit of effort to do the multiple signatures. But again, like I said, it doesn't take too long, like half an hour, really. And this is with 6, so if you're only doing 3, 15 minutes to bind those in. Okay, that is the last one. Oh, I'm so excited. See, now I have a journal. It's no longer just a cover. It is an actual journal. Ta-da! How cool is that? A bit of a thread there. I'm going to cut that off. So that you can see clearly all of my signatures. So evenly spaced. And you can see, like, I love a wide spine so that I can grow. So I can double, like I can stick things on every page and it will double in size to be that size, hopefully. I might put some, yeah, I will actually. I'll put some eyelets here or punch some holes with the crocodile. Oh, maybe I'll do a tutorial with that next, because, yeah, someone asked me for that in the 1,000 subscriber questions. So yeah, I'll come back and I'll do a flip through of this and explain all about this journal and what I'm doing with it. And see, now I'm going to be cutting off the frayed threads. But yeah, here's the spine. How cool does that look? I love it. Just, yeah, the added interest of the alternating shades of blue. I really like it. How good is that? I love it. So that's how you bind, well, how I bind a multiple signature hardcover journal. I hope it was helpful. I have no idea if that was helpful at all. It's the first time I've tried filming it, just because it is a bit of a process and everything. But hopefully that was helpful. And let me know if it was. Let me know if there's anything you need help with. Always happy to help if I can. So ask any questions and give it a go yourself. Follow along. It's really simple, really easy. Go back to that previous video about how to, it just introduces 3-hole pamphlet stitch basically, so that might be good just as a basic kind of beginner thing, and then you can do this. So start with a single signature and then go to a multiple signature journal. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. And I'll come back and we'll do, yeah, a little tutorial with the crocodile. I'm going to do some eyelets here or holes here and put some ribbon there to make a closure, and then I'm also going to poke one up here, an eyelet there, and I'm going to make a dangle. So I've got to think about what I'm going to do for a dangle. Let's see. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!